Hey, friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to Wrestle Juice. So All Out, All In week is officially over. And of course, dominating the headlines was CM Punk getting fired. That's right. On Saturday, it was announced by AEW that he was fired. I don't know, my headphones aren't because I don't really need these. And so I thought I would come on to Wrestle Juice today. Look, if you want my all-in review, if you want my all-in star ratings, same for All Out. They're available right now over at the Going in Raw channels in podcast form and in star rating form. But this is Wrestle Juice. Do things a little bit different here. I'm always trying to find interesting or creative ways to sort of approach these big events in a slightly different way. Payback, WWE Payback sort of came and went. Not a lot to say about that. I thought it was a fine show. Again, my reviews are available over at the other friendo channels. But because CM Punk, this has got to be one of the last, like at least here in Wrestle Juice, this is probably going to be the last CM Punk video unless he ends up doing something absolutely crazy like going to WWE or New Japan or something like that. But I thought I would take to, and this is probably a terrible idea, social media to get the general idea of what people out there think. I'm looking for the hot takes, and I'm going to react to those hot takes. Again, probably a terrible idea. The only cutting I'm going to be doing in this episode is anything that actually shows AEW footage, because I'll totally get copyright stricken for that, or anything like that's, not germane to the CM Punk situation. Like, for example, pornography. I put in CM Punk, the hashtag, and so it would not shock me if somebody tried to take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and dive into it. First up from the, by the way, this is changing all the time too. I went ahead and hit the go button on this thing, and then I just sort of moved it and it updated. So yeah, I just got on the top rated ones here. First up, Anxious Millennial Brown Boy says, the greatest return in professional wrestling history, nothing and no one can ever change that. I would actually put this up, his original 2021 return, with the greatest return in professional wrestling history. His story was kind of like unmatched. You could maybe think Hogan in 2002 coming back to WWF with the NWO, but I don't know, man. I kind of feel like CM Punk's return in 2021 to AEW was a really, really big deal, and it was and it really was a terrific return. I mean, they cut to a guy crying in the crowd. What more do you want? I don't know what that is. Here we go. Lee Milsom says, to lighten the mood on CM Punk, I want to share a positive story that on the morning of All In, he gladly posed with as many fans as possible that were waiting for him. He gave everyone a time, and I told him it was 18 years since his last match with Joe in the UK. Thanks, CM Punk. I've seen multiple posts like this where CM Punk was nice enough to share a moment with the fans heading into All In. And I think that's really awesome. That's cool. That's a positive mark on the guy. Let's see here. Elite Rockers X. This is such a bad idea. When the Buckaroos show up, ratings go down by 150,000 to 250. When CM Punk shows up, ratings go up by 200,000 to 350. Tony chose the Young Bucks over Punk. Now you know who to blame when AEW died. This is like the try not to win challenge, to be honest with you. Look, I don't know about all this, the rating situation thing. Like, this does not seem like any sort of scientific research on the ratings. I mean, Dave Meltzer, I know people got their opinions of Dave Meltzer, did point out, and this is factual, that the ratings saw a huge increase when Adam Cole and MJF showed up on Collision and then sunk back down when they left. I think they're sort of the hot hand right now. I think they're probably the most compelling thing AEW has going, and so it seems like they're the draw. I don't know how much of a draw CM Punk ended up being, sort of like, I don't know, on a week-to-week basis for Collision. Like, we've got this college football season coming up. I think overall, like, he's like a top merch seller, and I really enjoyed his work on Collision. But to say, oh, Tony chose the Young Bucks over CM Punk, therefore ratings are going to tank. Well, I can remind you guys there was a whole 2 years of AEW's existence before CM Punk came around. Although they had Cody at the time, and I think he helped a lot too. Jack Cassidy says, PW Torch has learned that Punk confronted TK in his locker room and what has been characterized as Yeah, so apparently there was some sort of like private meet between CM Punk and Tony Khan. Again, a lot of news is going to come out over the next months, over the next weeks and months, I think. In terms of like, there's already like one story about Punk being kind of rude to William Regal when William Regal debuted for AEW. There's going to be a lot of shit slinging from both sides So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. Uh-oh, look at this. Are you ready? It'll be interesting to see if Punk lands in WWE. I don't know if that's going to happen. He seems to bring a little bit of the baggage here. Metro Pro Wrestling says it's a weird line being drawn between the sides of this. Elite/AEW loyalists who hate Punk seem scared, soft, and unable. I got to get that footage out of there. And unable to deal with grown men who call them on their passive-aggressive BS. Then there's the realistic side. Let's see. Elite seems scared, soft, and unable to. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. What is this? Punk versus the Elite. That's their literal Twitter handle. Came in with a bang, went out on a high as the champ. Thank you. RA says he should have just tried to give Punk. Oh, this is in response to Vince Russo. Oh, God. Should I do this? This is probably a bad idea. So Vince Russo, bro, says, so Tony Khan said he felt his life was in danger, and that's the reason why he fired CM Punk. Vince Russo says, did Tony Khan say his life was in danger at All In? Is he suggesting that CM Punk was threatening or threatened his life? Bro, the late, great Miss Luna Vachon once physically went right through me to get to Sunny. Bro, I thought Luna was going to kill me too. Guess what? Just another day at the office. I don't quite understand what TK thought the wrestling business was. How long has it been since Vince Russo has actually been like in the wrestling business, like backstage booking stuff though? And I kind of feel like Tony Khan's general point about like, you come into work and you should probably expect a safe work environment. Yeah, I know it's wrestling and guys are all jacked up, but like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, as Undertaker says, they're not doing the whole bringing duffel bags with guns and drugs anymore. They're just sitting around playing video games and everybody seems real chill for the most part. I don't think wrestling has like, look, I'm not there. I own a small indie promotion here in Sacramento. Everybody's hella chill there, man. You go backstage, everybody's hella chill. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it doesn't need to be super violent backstage. And I feel like in this day and age, 2023, if you feel like your life is in danger or feel like you're going to get beat up or something on the job, kind of any job, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe that's not a great situation to be in. But he says stuff like that happened every day when I was on the job. The only difference was it stayed in the locker room and resolved in the locker room. Dirt sheet marks were not getting fed by the marks in the ring because there were no marks in the ring. But oh yeah, it's a different time. Yeah, well, you're kind of old, Vince Russo. Let's see here. What is this here? Now I can't show that footage. Kyle Magic said, I have tickets for All Out in Chicago. If CM Punk's not there, I won't be there. It's that simple. Let's reload this thing. I want to reload this thing here. CM Punk. Let's do it again. Let's go from the top. I like this. El Idolo Andrade said, thank you, CM Punk. I hope we meet again, but face-to-face in the ring, we have a pending match. I think that means that they still owe each other a match. I'd like to see that shit. Do that shit in like AAA or something. That'd be kind of wild if CM Punk went to AAA. I don't know if he'd be able to. I don't know if he'd get into backstage shenanigans in AAA, you know? Let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, I saw this. Tristan Johnson says AEW Collision Security removing CM Punk signs and chastising chants. I think this, from what I understand, this was a bit of a gag. It was a joke. Like nobody was actually made to turn their shirts inside out. But I guess there were some signs confiscated. But I did see I saw signs in the crowd, so I don't know. And the crowd was pretty vocal. Devin says, I respect his wrestling and his views. I've seen this clip around. I can't show that because it's copyright stuff. WWE stuff. Oh, does somebody put together like a fake CM Punk returns to WWE thing? What they did. Oh, that's great. That's terrible. Let's see here. What is this? Oh, the magic moment. CM Punk. Oh, a reunion. CM Punk, Ron Simmons, the APA. So there's CM Punk when he was given some sort of cauliflower alley reward thing. So that's cool. Let's see here. What did Eric Bischoff say? Oh, this was before Tony Khan made the announcement for Collision. As much empathy as I have for Tony Khan, and I'm really trying to put myself in his shoes because I've been in that type of situation. I think Bischoff got locked in a closet once. You got to make a stand. Being wishy-washy and saying we're not really sure, you owe it to your audience to either say yes, he will feature it all out, or no, he won't. He did do that. He did that before Collision. Oh man, one of the best t-shirt designers in pro wrestling. Juan Ortiz of the Dead 209 says, as the great poet Hoods once said, don't fucking fight. Let's party tonight. If you're straight edge, don't worry. I'll buy you a Sprite. Do straight edgers, do they allow themselves like an allowance, like a hall pass for like an edible, for like a little bit of weed? Because like I feel like maybe chill out. Like I've been around for a while, and I remember there was a whole straight edge culture in the area that I used to hang out in, and a lot of them seem really like uptight. I feel like they could probably use some edibles. Anyways, I don't know. Let's see here. That's more footage. I can't show footage. Where Wrestling Dad says, say what you will, but CM Punk's entrance at Wembley was pretty cool. It was pretty darn cool. Oh, here's Medusa, friend of Going in Raw, Medusa. Right here with CM Punk, most controversial wrestler in the business, and CM Punk. That's a fun picture. A little foreshadowing there. Simply the Best says, it's 4 a.m. Sue me, but tell me this isn't true. I love these like Facebook-esque memes here. Look at this, with the big impact font. The difference between Tony and Vince, TK suspended Punk and Perry, Vince would be booking a match. Man, you go off script one Vince McMahon, you're gonna get dealt with, man. Let's see here. There's a little fan edit. Oh, here we go. Big Daddy Greg says, it's quite simple, actually. CM Punk didn't want to work with children, and the children didn't want him hanging out at the daycare anymore, so the head child fired him. I guess. An appropriate clown emote right here. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, I've seen this. Customer sits down in a bar. I'd like to order a Punk and Perry. What's that? It's just a Pepsi with Jack. You want that in a glass? A real glass? Are you out of your mind? That's pretty funny. Here we go. Some Triple H meme. Hey, Phil, it's Paul. So I heard you dropped a television on your now former boss who beat me on the Wednesday Night Wars. That takes balls. I wanted to ask if you're ready to bring that same fire back to sports entertainment as large as it. Some of these memes are really corny. Let's see. Some Moxley footage. Can't show that. Oh, man. What is this? Annie Franny says we're offering buy two, get one free on all of our popcorn. Plus, we're doubling the size of your popcorn selection. Buy 1 gallon. You'll receive 2 gallons in that flavor. I'm going to go to Annie Fanny's.